I'm going to make today's intro short and sweet because it is actually the end of the day. Just got done fishing and today was special. Today was one of those special bites, one of those special times when a bunch of factors come together so that you can get on a really special bite and be able to catch a lot of fish. And so today's video is going to be full of awesome fish catches, light line fishing, kayak fishing, as well as a bunch of information about fall fishing, fishing muddy water, fishing after a rainstorm, fishing after a cold front, and really capitalizing on some adverse fall fishing conditions to put a bunch of fish into the boat, into the kayak, or wherever you guys happen to be fishing. So if that sounds like something you're into, you're going to want to stick around for today's video. And I am so glad that you've taken some time out of your busy day, your busy week to come watch this video, because it's going to be a fun one, it's going to be an awesome one, and it's going to be a video where you guys are going to enjoy it, I think, as well as be able to learn something. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to shut up and enjoy today's video. That's not a bass. What is that? Oh, yep, that is a bass. Come here. Oh, I mean, Dad Jim, son. There you go. Not a giant, but it's a good one. Good little fish. Let's see how long he is. Honestly, not a bad way to start. There, bud. Thank you, sir, for participating. That's freaking fun right there. Number one. That's hilarious. There you go. That's a good little fish. 15 3/4. So that's two, 15 3/4. That's pretty funny. Thank you, buddy. Yep. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I found them stacked right here. That's 3 out of the same spot. What that is a huge indicator that fall is on the way. Finding fish stacked up like that in one spot is a huge indicator that fall is on its way, because fish start stacking up like that when fall really starts to make that transition. There's nothing that's a bigger indicator for me that falls on the way, then obviously the days getting shorter is the big one. But then number two is those fish stacking up like that on just one spot. And essentially, I think what I've found here is just a really, really active grass bed at the end of this mud line. And so there's a big mud line behind me that these fish are not wanting to be in because it's just too thick. The mud's just too dark. It's not a conducive environment for them to live in, for them to feed in. And so essentially what they've done, and you guys can probably see the mud flat there, or see the mud line there coming down through here out to this flat area. What they've done is they've just transitioned from these points that they're normally on down here to right where this mud line stops. And they're sitting there and they're feeding. So that's 3 out of 1 spot. Oh my word. Well, guys, I have found a school of fish. We'll talk about this here in just a second. Let me get this fish out of here, measure it, and get a good look at it. But essentially what I've done here is found a school of fish. These fish have started schooling in a very different way than they have been schooling normally, because this fish is bleeding, so we're gonna get this hook out of it. They're just moved, and they moved because of a weather change. And this is kind of what I was talking about in my One Box to Conquer the Fall video, was really kind of understanding, you know, the use of finesse baits in a big weather change like we've had. So just crazy. This is just insane that I found these fish schooled up like this. All right, there you go, guys. Get out of there, buddy. Go ahead, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Heck yeah, bro. Oh my God. That's a good one. Oh, this is freaking fun. There you go, guys. There's another one. There you go. Let's see how long this one is. There you go, guys. Another 16 3/4, man. They are cookie cutter. This is freaking awesome. Hey, buddy. Thanks, dude. Yep. There's the big one. There you go. All right, guys. There you go. You fish that school and you fish that school, and when you find them stacked up like that, make just consecutive casts. Cast over and over and over again. Even when you think that they're done eating, you keep casting in there, because when you do, that's when you run into those right there. That fish wasn't coming off. Hell yeah. There you go, guys. Beautiful 19-inch fish. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous 19-inch fish. Cool, that tail's cool, split like that. Freaking awesome. That's so cool. All right, guys, so let's talk about what I'm doing to catch these fish, because I think this is a super important look at fall fishing and how to capitalize on certain conditions during fall fishing. So right here, you guys can probably see, and I'll stand up so we can see it better. I have this mud line, and this mud line is coming out of that creek that's right up there. Creek is dumping out a bunch of muddy water, which is creating current. Current's coming around this point and dumping down onto this bank that I'm fishing. I've also got wind that you guys can probably hear blowing into that bank as well. So not only do I have current pushing in the bank, not only do I have wind pushing into the bank, but then this bank is where the water actually starts to mix. So you guys can see the really, really muddy water, the cleaner water, and then right here is the mixing water. In this mixing water, there's a grass line. Then they've also got the hard bank right here with them. And then there's also a little bit of an eddy here where that creek is actually dumping that current into there. And so these fish essentially are just sitting here using this eddy, using this current, using this grass line as an ambush point in an area where they don't have to exert much effort to eat anything. And they're just sitting there and they're waiting for stuff to swim by. And there is just a ton of gizzard shad, a ton of threadfin up here. I'm sure there's some bluegills as well. And these fish have really made that first initial move into their fall pattern. You know, they've gathered up into a school. They're really using the grass. They're starting to follow the bait fish, starting to eat those bait fish, use those bait fish as a primary food source. And I mean, this is just classic fall fishing pattern. And even though it's first week of September, even though this is the first cold front that we've had, you know, like I've been saying, the days are starting to shorten. Those things that make those bass start to move are starting to happen, and these bass are starting to make the moves into their more fall time patterns. And you know, and I'm throwing this wacky rig. I really think pre-front, you could have probably come down here with a jig and caught these fish and done what I've done today and just sit here and caught them and caught them and caught them. But where we're post-front, where we're, you know, high pressure, bluebird skies, you know, these fish are going to be just a little more pressure, not as apt to eat. And so throwing something like this wacky rig is just a passive finesse style bait. And just like I said in my one box to conquer the fall, you got to have those this time of year when we do have these adverse conditions to put fish in the boat. And I've been able to just to kind of pinpoint this area, pinpoint these fish, and to catch them. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I wanted to give you guys kind of just a breakdown of what that looked like and an idea, and just been having a freaking ton of fun. Go. Freaking another one, man. I don't think that culls any of the ones we got, but fatty. Long though. There you go, guys. 16 1/4. Heck yeah. Look, 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 look. All right. right, boys and girls, well, I think we will call that one done for today. Today is definitely one of those days that the phrase never give up comes to mind, because I caught one this morning early, ended up fishing like 4 or 5 hours and didn't get a single bite, and found those fish schooled up on that spot and ended up sitting there for hour and a half, just absolutely slamming them. Caught, I think, 13, 14 fish. Best 5 went like 84 inches, which is just freaking awesome. Just had a ball. Caught every single fish that I caught today on a June bug, Max Scent General, paired up with a #1 size owner sniper finesse hook, some 10-pound Sunline FC sniper for my leader, a 20-pound braided mainline, this X5 braid by Berkley on my 7-foot Veritas PLX medium fast action, paired up with that Zeta reel. It's the 300 size reel. And just, yeah, guys, I mean, simplicity of fall fishing in some senses and the complexity of fall fishing in some senses, all in one day. Shows you how easy it can be once you find them, but kind of finding them and you know, pulling in all the different factors that kind of played into today to help me find that spot, get on that spot, and then catch those fish. I mean, it was just fall fishing as fall fishing gets. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to go down, and in the description I'll have links for everything that I used today, including bait, hook, rod, reel, line, my net. All that will be linked down below so you guys can check it out. Also, go leave me a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as always. And as always, you guys are sweet, and thank you for watching.